Oh, okay. Hey
We're
guys,
here.
and welcome to the Mysteries of Selindor. What's our episode? Like 90 something? 95?
94.
94. Wow. When we
Yeah.
get to episode 100, everybody just dies, I think. That's like
And then
that's just
nothing
the one.
happens.
Yeah,
We
rounded
didn't
up
get
right
it
at
to him in
100.
time. The dreamer's awake. Sorry.
Yeah,
World
yeah,
ended.
that's it. You can't have a campaign more than 100 episodes. That's madness. Anyways, so Seti, our resident bard, if you'll go ahead and give us a recap of what happened last week, that would be
Okay, so it's like a lot, and I didn't get the chance to read through it to shorten it. So here we go. Last week we went to a council meeting. Humphreys gave us a ride. We're pretty sure he's Odin, but that's out of character. So he's just an old man with a staff and the raven. And there were some other NPCs at the meeting that were gods from other stuffs. And
from other stuffs.
yeah, they eventually agreed that Ord should build a vault in Selindor and will give him the third piece of the key in a few days when we're summoned to the Nexus for that. And they also think that the rain is happening because Northot got the final piece of Agar, but that it should be discussed with the full council and has nothing to do with us. I personally disagree, but we'll get into that later. Inveruna has suspected ties to Northot. They are one of the many schools at the tower, at the academy. And so the council wants us to act as bait during the intergalactic pentathlon that's coming up. And there is a non-Euclidean tesseract up as a prize. So we really want to get that and not the bad guys.
Well, it's a non-Euclidean gate. By nature, a tesseract is non-Euclidean.
Right. Well, anyway, basically means you can go anywhere you want to, anytime you want to. And that would be really bad for the bad guys to have. But it is bait for them, as are we. We want to find out what the cult's up to, and they will advise us to flaunt our like Northotiness, like the tentacles and Orin's connection, to try to lure them out to maybe like recruit us or something, you know. And let's see. Grim worked on school projects with Brogi. Orin signed up for classes. Seti caught up on hers and Seti, that's me. I signed up for Boxbreaker with Orin and Mitnir. And tryouts are on Monday. Today's Friday. Caldwell's asking around to see if someone wants to join Wisp Roll Up with me or maybe take Mit or Orin's place in Boxbreaker. So that still remains to be seen what we're actually doing for the competition. Cleary's, well, he's our new ambassador of sorts to the council. So he showed up wearing a very nice suit and invited us to dinner in the banquet hall, but nobody else but me showed up, thanks to Bropsy's meddling, I think. And now it's just me and Cleary at the table with
and Midnight.
Midnight or Mitnick, depending on who you ask.
Midnight, I'm sorry.
I gave him a napkin to chew on, and I like to think that I look away for 2 seconds and I look back and the napkin is either gone completely or just completely shredded. So
absolutely.
Half and half.
Half and half.
So as Cleary says, would you like to sit down, join me?
Sure, yes. I didn't know this place got so fancy at night. I've only ever had breakfast here before.
Yes, there were a lot of people staring at me in the hour it took me to set up.
Oh.
And you see that there's actually like a group of people sitting off in the corner wearing just like a variety of different colored robes that they've just like kind of watching, like fascinated, like what is happening here?
Oh.
It occurred to me afterwards that perhaps booking a private area would have been better, considering a sensitive meeting that we were going to be doing. But everyone around seems to have understood via my informing them that if they eavesdrop, they will be harshly punished.
Should I could set up a dome to keep sound out, if that...
Oh, yes. Yes, that would be great. And then they wouldn't be able to sit there staring at us. Hi.
All right, well, give me 10 minutes. I'll cast the dome.
All right, so this is the next 10 minutes, like you guys are sitting there awkwardly waiting for dinner, and then the dome comes up over it, and you hear a couple people outside the dome go, "Oh, fuck."
But
And then as you guys,
I want it to like not just be opaque like it normally is, but to be like almost like a planetarium with like sparkles and stuff.
little sparkles and stars and stuff, that
Yeah,
sort of
like,
matches Clary's suit when you look at it.
yeah,
And he
kind of
just
like
pops. He almost blends in if it weren't for his blue skin, sort of sitting several shades lighter than the almost night sky that you have painted on the inside of the dome.
there we go.
Well,
Better, right?
wonderful. Yes.
Because I was wondering if it was safe to talk, how much I could say.
This is much better. It was honestly poor planning on my part. I realized after I began setting up, but then I didn't have really any better ideas.
Yeah.
So, yes. Well, as you know, I am officially your liaison to the council. Oh, sorry. Were you going to say something?
I was just going to ask what my father had to say. So.
Oh, yes. Right. Well, good. Yes. Basically, I've been apprised of the situation. I'm aware that you have collected those key pieces, and that they are currently. You are still in possession of the orb, correct? The third piece.
Yes, I'm supposed to give it to Ord in a couple of days after the vault is constructed.
Well, he is very trustworthy, so you really have nothing to worry about when it comes to him and potentially leaking it to Northart. There is no safer hands in my opinion.
Good.
Even your father, no offense, probably is less trustworthy than Ord is.
That's really good to hear because I was worried.
Yes. In the meantime, in the interim, we've been tasked with the subject of trying to investigate in Verona. The plans of which we really need to discuss with the entire group, because, frankly, there are many ways to go about this, and with the exception of lending the Tesseract as a form of lure, all of you are lures in and of yourself, so really the means by which we do it is really the whole game.
I actually had a thought. Well, I wanted to talk, I've had some ideas for some magic items that I wanted to bounce off of somebody to see if they were good ideas, but I thought if I wanted to go that route, if I had the time and resources, part of the marketing campaign for them could be Daughter of the Dreamweaver. And I know that would draw a lot of attention to me, but it might be the kind of
that would
target.
Certainly draw attention for Inveruna, and actually not too much from anyone else, as the Dreamweaver's name is not widely spread outside of the next.
I was worried that maybe it would draw the Weave, I know he's trying to keep Northart's attention off of us, and I thought maybe it would draw Northart's attention too much. But, if Inveruna is what they're suspected to be, then that would certainly be a target for them, a big red flag.
It, as far as I'm aware, there's no real likelihood that he will not be watching the ongoings, or the goings-ons within Selindor Academy during the pentathlon.
So you think he's going to, his eyes will be on us regardless?
No matter what, your father will not be able to stir the weave away. In fact, I believe this is a situation where we are testing to find out whether or not Northart will act through Inveruna or act on its own. And there are preparations and protections within this academy that are greater in defense against Northart than anywhere else. To date, there have been no actual invasions that we're aware of an actual Northart incarnation within the Academy of Selindor. That is, and thus Inveruna is more to it than we suspect.
Right.
The problem is nobody ever fully knows what's going on in Primus's head.
Yeah.
He's been around since the beginning of Selindor. He was one of the first entities here, and we believe he helped write the rules. As such, I think he got himself his own, part of Selindor that is his, in his domain. The real problem is what we're meant to investigate is whether or not these are simply worshippers of Northart, or if he has broken the rules and has actually put aspects of himself through students into, if he's found a way to invade. And if that's the case, that could be very, very problematic. As you know, and as I have just been informed, the entire school is a giant locking mechanism for a gate that leads to the far realm.
Yeah, great.
So Needless to say, Northot having the ability to unlock his realm completely and let the far realm bleed in would be very, very bad.
It does make me really nervous that the first piece we gave up is there already.
Yes, with the halls of nascency.
I know Primus says it's safe, but how much do we trust Primus? And
Oh, that's part of the investigation here. And also the reason why Primus was not privy to the most recent meeting that was held around all of you.
I mean, how likely is it he doesn't know?
Well, we did have those that were not at the council that were still trustworthy there to distract him, Bolla among them. As well as the Magister.
Well, that's something, I guess.
Meantime, we had other bits. In fact, I believe their meeting was mostly concerning the rings.
I think maybe we could try a twofold approach. So if I were to advertise, daughter of the Dreamweaver, whatever, then that would be maybe I would be a target that they would want to take out, or...
well, the bait should be as strong as possible.
And then I thought maybe either Grim or Oren could be bait, as in, like, maybe they would want to join the cause, and they could be a double agent.
Well, I think for many reasons, every single one of you could be used as bait. I would say the most dangerous to use as bait, but also potentially the most effective, would be Bropsy. Seeing as that is one thing that Northot actually wants, you wouldn't have no particular interest in... Well, in Varuna might have more interest in some of the rest of you, Orin and Grim. I think that Northot himself would have most interest in Bropsy.
I know, but I'm not comfortable putting her forward.
Oh, absolutely. I agree 100%, but the information should be on the table, and I think it should be definitely discussed with Bropsy, as it is her personage that is in question.
I mean, we know she's at risk regardless of whether we try to keep her concealed or not. And also, I wanted to point out that, there were people on the council that were not happy to see the piece go to Ord and had other designs for it, and people that probably know I have...
Well,
I just want
the
to...
The suspicion is that you would be able to grow monsters out of it, and so being Lords of the Abyss, getting the Gates of Hell, whatever, that sounds like a very good artifact to get your hand on, so it's not surprising.
Yeah, I just wanted to put it out there that I am probably also a target from other people for the next several days at least, until Ord takes possession.
Is a very fair point.
So that is also on our plate to consider. And I plan on keeping my distance from bigger prizes.
In the interim, try not to mention the key piece outside of domes like this.
Yes,
especially since, if anything, the walls included, hears you speaking about it, then Primus will know.
I think Primus already knows, but yes.
Well, that's a bit of a kink, but well.
Yeah. Speaking of things, we have 2 fractures from Agar's companions, the Cauldrons. The other. They said that it should go to somebody who is protective but possesses more wit than I do, which I thought was rude. More wise.
More wise. Interesting.
And then my immediate thought was my mom, and I was like, I mean, she's perfect, but she's also, I'm not drawing her into this at all. I think we need to give these fractures to somebody soon, because maybe that they could maybe the rain is happening because these fractures are not in control, just like the air went away when Bropsy, before Bropsy took it.
Right.
I thought maybe if somebody had control of these, then maybe the weather would stabilize or something. So
that does make sense.
The other one's supposed to go to somebody who could be a fair but harsh judge.
Oh, well, there's several people I could think of who are fair but harsh, but I don't think that they would necessarily be prepared to take in a fracture. of any
Right.
kind. I'm not exactly sure what you're looking for, but
Just if you...
I could keep my own eyes out and
Yeah.
see if anybody really.
I'm just
clicks
coming up
to match that
empty
criteria.
because my first thought for that one was you, and I know you're not.
Well,
y'all don't take
I mean,
fracture.
as a judge.
Well, you can reason through things.
I try to think of myself as very non-judgmental. Like I don't like to
being
put
a
myself at a
judge
state
doesn't.
above others or looking down on them in any way.
No, it means
you
can make decisions that are level.
But I'm glad you think so after a lot of my decisions.
I'm not saying all of your decisions were level, but
well, I'm not.
I don't know.
Not that I'm not flattered. I'm not certain I would be the best choice.
And I know
if
that's...
the group all agrees that is a responsibility that you think I should take on, I would do it. I would be more than happy to carry the burden as Bropsy does, and I could do that if that's something that you want. I'm not
it's not about
that I would...
It's not about what we want. I just want these to go to somebody who's very trustworthy and who will be very good at the job, whatever the job is, keeping these safe from Northot and protecting others.
Well,
and
thank you for considering me trustworthy. I don't believe I deserve it, but
I trust you with this.
Thank you.
There are very few people we trust with this, so obviously the candidate list is pretty short. But if you know of anybody...
I will take a look around, and if the group decides that that you think that this is something that you would like to keep as close to the chest as, or with somebody you trust and you don't trust anyone more than me, then I could do that.
Think about it, and think about any people you might know who might fit the bill.
I will. Yes. I will do that.
Thank you.
How are the tapas?
Very good.
Good. I sort of outsourced a lot of the food prep to a couple of different groups within the school that were practicing their cooking for the upcoming festivities. And I told them I would taste test and that I had a royal palate. So this should be some pretty good stuff on here. I've got a large spread. I do think we should probably pack up that for Mitnir. And you see that there is literally an entire roast pig, like about the length of... I'm not gonna say like Ernie, obviously, but like Ernie, if he had grown naturally.
So like
someone else is already
pig.
gnawing on it.
Yeah, Midnight's already like...
Yeah, Midnight's
He's just like ah!
Yeah, just burrowed a hole straight through.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, said he's been feeding
probably
him,
already
but clearly
passed
that
out on the
doesn't...
table. Yeah, he's already
Oh
passed
no,
out on the
he's
table.
going back and forth.
Swollen.
Like you put food over there, he's like whoop, and then goes back over to that.
So,
did I introduce you, by the way? This is Midnight.
Yes, I heard that you all created monsters.
Yeah, this one was Mitnir's from the Cauldron.
Yes. And yours didn't. Very sorry.
No. I wish you could have met him. He was really incredible down there. And he was very brave. I do hate this Cleary, all the death and the suffering and the lives we can't save.
I know.
I
do as well.
Just nice. It would be nice for once to have something, or to bring something into the world and see it be happy and flourishing. And I feel really bad that I had to... Mirma understood. I didn't want anybody else to carry that burden.
He just reaches across the table and he puts his hand on your hand and he says, "If there's any way to bring Miriam back to you, I will find it."
He knew what he was doing and why. The best way to honor him is to defeat Northot.
You also feel a weight land on your shoulder and then headbutt you.
Ow!
Like softly, but not hard.
I give it little scritches.
Yeah.
Just scritches. Is that why Mitnir sent you? Did he know I'd be upset, or did he just know there'd be food here?
It just kind of
Oh no, I'm crashing again! Fuck me! It happens every
Good night,
week.
dude. Steady.
It happens.
You disappeared.
He ate her.
It happens every week, and only when we're playing D&D.
It happens about the same way into the game every time.
Like, what the fuck?
It happens when we're about like 15, 20 minutes
Wait.
in.
What's weird is it doesn't do it again then typically.
No,
either.
usually doesn't.
I don't understand at all. Like, there's... I could uninstall it and reinstall it, I guess. I don't know.
That sounds like a lot of work.
Mhm.
All right, so
Pretty sure I did that anyway.
he says, "We will find a way.
Yeah.
It may take time. So far, it's taken millennia, but we will find a way. In the meantime, I just want to apologize again for lying to you for everything. And I will do everything I can to make it up to you. And on that note, I have located a sibling of yours within Selindor.
Oh,
He goes by the name of Labra, and he lives in the Crystal Undercity. I have approached him once, and in a disguise, and he seems like a decent fellow. Doesn't seem like he's into anything too rough or tumble. Maybe a bit of trouble here and there.
How old is he? What does he do?
His age is a bit of a question. I can't really tell with those of the Earth. But he, as far as I can tell, he currently works in the mines. He makes a decent wage. He has a nice place down there within the actual inner ring of the city. And he's doing very well. He seems to have fun at brothels and enjoys himself a nice time at the bars with friends and makes merry. He seems relatively well adjusted, considering. That said, he's very difficult to track, and I have lost him during my time following him for days at a time.
Huh.
So, like I said, he might be getting up to a bit of trouble.
Sorry to cut in, but the stream is still a little borked.
Oh shit! Why? I shared my screen. Who's missing?
Oh,
What happened?
Everyone's in the right spot. We're all just tiny.
Why?
Oh my gosh.
There is no reason for that. Nothing. Oh, okay. Now I figured it out. There we go. Discord reopened at the wrong size.
Gotcha.
For no reason.
So, anyways, if you would like to meet him, I have here, and he slides a piece of paper to you, a recommendation letter from Lord Phoenix for him to join the academy.
Oh.
If you wish to bring him in, I'm sure he would do very well here. Like I said, he's doing well. He has his own place in the inner ring, but it's humble. And obviously, he could be close to you without you having to go too far away. And it's entirely up to you. You could go down to the Crystal City, meet him, but I thought maybe. it would be a good means of introduction.
I do want to extend him any advantage I can offer if he needs anything at all. But I think it needs to be his choice if he wants to get involved up here. And I don't want to pull anybody into this North Hot business.
Well,
unless I
yes.
have to.
Seeing as when I met him, I was as a merchant looking for a particularly rare form of gemstone, which he was able to procure for me within a few days' time. We are already acquainted, and if you would like, we could go down and meet with him together. And if you feel that you wish to extend the offer, you may do it in person, or if you wish, I could relay this information for you, or whatever you're comfortable with. I don't want to force the issue.
I think I'd like to go down and meet him together. If you already have if you've already met him, then maybe the familiar face would help.
Yes. Okay. Good. I will set up a meet then. I'll let you know when I hear from him exactly when that would be. But I expect within the next day or two. I paid him quite handsomely, so I think he'll be happy to see me.
Thank you. I really should never have asked you to look. It really was a waste of your incredible talents.
Absolutely not, Steady. There's nothing more important to me than your happiness and your comfort, and you are important to more than just me. And more than just your father, you're important to Selindor. And the least that it can do, the least that the people here can do, and that I can do, is to help give you peace of mind about the things you care about. So there is nothing of more importance to me.
That's really sweet. I don't really know what to say, so I'll just say thank you.
You're very welcome. This is very good chicken.
Look, I have missed you a lot. It's not the same without you, and I feel like everybody's... I feel like whatever was holding us all together is starting to fray, and maybe you were just the first thread to break loose, or maybe you were the glue that was holding us all together all along. I don't know, but it feels like everybody's on edge or doesn't want to talk, and we're all just coping with all of this shit in our own ways, and I don't know, it just feels different, and I don't know. I guess, Mitnir's fine, or he's just really good at hiding it. But I think it's strange, because I always felt like I was protecting you. Like you were just some nerdy kid that got swept into things way over his head, and if I had skills you didn't, then it was my duty to use them to keep you safe. And I think you put a face on what we're fighting for, even though you weren't actually all that helpless in the end. But I think without you, it's...
To be fair, within this body, I am what you see. I am not more than this. I am not capable of more than this. But I did hide my ability to sculpt, for certain.
Yeah, I remember you going on and on about this Valhadran guy and what an incredible artist he was, and how fascinating his sculptures were.
It was a very awkward situation for me as well, I admit. But your father wished for you to have certain protections, so he had me, lead you to some of my creations that might be helpful.
It was a misdirect to be so gushy about this guy, because certainly nobody would ever talk about themselves this way.
It was very
Is that what-
embarrassing. It was not a good time for me, I must admit. Yes. I regret it.
I just wonder what else was up there that we missed out on because of the stupid. Do you know anything about that attack, by the way?
No, the attack was not part of my plan.
It wasn't.
But I did, however, stop you all from falling to a death. Most early.
Something you're very good at.
Yes, that was my only real role in that particular instance. I'm not exactly sure why they were after that cart, but the magisteel within it, I believe, was their target.
I keep meaning to scry on them, but being on a different plane, maybe tonight I'll visit one of them in their dreams.
Oh, give them a nice nightmare for me, would you?
Yeah, I'll see what they've been thinking about and what they've been up to, and maybe leave them. Well, who knows? I'll think of something evil.
As it is, it looks like midnight is quite full, and well, I think most of the conversation going forward needs to happen with the rest of the group. If that's all right with you, I think maybe we should sojourn for the night and reconvene in the morning with everyone.
I think there's just one more thing that needs to be said.
Yes, of course.
I keep thinking, and I don't know how I feel, because I feel a lot of things and a lot has happened, and I mean, we've been through a lot since even the Cauldron of Strife, but both together and apart we've been through a lot. But you realize that we have to start over.
Oh.
That
yes. Trust doesn't come easily, I understand.
Right. As much as I might wish that things could go back to the way they were, I can't pretend that nothing happened, and that you're not the person I thought you were, and I need to find out not just who you are, but who I am now. And I will always love Cleary, but Cleary's in the past, and I need time to. All I know right now, and all I can promise, is that I really miss my friend, and I hope that the things that made us friends haven't changed.
They haven't. I promise you that, and I will do everything I can to make up for my horrible mistake.
I understand why you didn't tell anybody. I maybe can't agree with it, but I do understand. And I know you were in a really difficult place, and I know how hard it must have been for you to not be able to say anything, or to feel like it wasn't safe for you or for us to know.
It's no excuse, really. But thank you for understanding.
An explanation doesn't have to be an excuse.
Yes. Sorry, I think I'm projecting my guilt on the situation quite a bit.
Well, if we're going to move on from it, then we both need to move on from it. It's in the past, and this is a first start.
I would love a fresh start.
Why don't we walk off some of the calories we just ate?
Yes.
And talk about simple things, like you can tell me what your favorite food is, or your favorite memories, or
things. I hope that you have an open mind and a lot of space in there, because I have a lot of history to, if you wish to really, truly get to know me. But I'm a very big fan of mochi, And well, yes, a walk sounds nice.
Okay then. And I'll scoop Midnight up and like just cradle him. And I'll slip my arm around Clary's and we can just go for a walk around, like if there's like I'm sure there's like a park or green
vendor.
space.
You can go to,
or we can go get some
He needs to
mochi
go
for
find a mochi,
dessert.
but, like literally, you say, my like favorite thing is mochi, and I know a cute little place. Let's take a fucking stroll.
Maybe-
Like, go.
maybe
there's something about the
after-
chewiness, but the ice creaminess, the whole thing together. It's just neat.
Interesting.
Anyways, but he's like, actually, so you guys, he takes you and you guys probably spend the night talking with Midnight and walking around.
And we
Logic
have
Way.
somebody to deliver the giant pig to Mitnir.
Yeah, you're I don't know where you are in the middle of the night, but you know, you guys are waiting and you're like, you knew that this dinner was going on, and about like an hour after this whole thing goes down, somebody comes up and says, "Message for you, sir." And he's got like a wagon behind him. Parcel, sign here.
Like scribbles.
He's like, oh, very good. Well, here you are. And he pushes it in, and he just like, it's a wagon, and he flips like a cardboard box over it, and it's literally just a half-eaten pig, and just like an assortment of like charcuterie and just like a whole bunch of just like meats and meats, mostly meats.
Pushes it into wherever we are. It's like dinner.
So with that, whatever happens that evening is entirely up to you to imagine.
Seti will also tell Clary about her idea for enchanted items, the two that I have talked to you about, DM.
Yeah, it's like,
So-
oh yes, we could certainly look into those sort of things. I mean, the development of which would be quite interesting. There are certain types of silkworm that produce the most comfortable thread count that you could possibly imagine. It basically melts into one solid piece of silk, with no threads because they're so fine in detail.
Wonderful. So yeah, we'll just shoot the shit about that and
Cool.
whatever else.
All right. So, with that, you have an evening of catching up with an old friend. What is everybody else doing during this time? You all were aware that this dinner was happening.
I believe I had told them to go to my room.
Okay, yes. So this is delivery shows up, and you guys see, and the Mitnir comes in with just a whole bunch of meat. And since it's being delivered to your room, there is also a second wagon that comes in right behind, and he says, "A message for Bropsy, this one."
Oh, right here. Thank you.
So, you pull in a second wagon, and it's just covered in like salads and seeds and nuts and berries and
Beautiful.
and it's just like the rest of what he spread out that was particularly for Bropsy, like her whole spread, and then like the spread for like, you know, Grim and the guys and all that. Not that he knows that Grim doesn't really eat anything that isn't good berries, but still, he provides it.
He's gonna turn back to the others. See, I knew they would take care of us if we just gave them their space. It's all good.
Got some. You should mute yourself while you're typing, babe.
Oh, I did. God damn it.
So, do you guys have anything else that you would like to discuss or talk about or do before the end of this? Okay. So, as you all go to sleep for the night and have a variety of different events and sensations, Mitnir, you open your eyes and you find yourself once again in a sort of cold, I'm not sure how I usually describe it, but you know the place. Within your dream realm, where you see the multiple statues on either side, the distance spreading out like almost infinitely at this point, and you see the spark of light sitting above the pedestal and the dragon sitting behind it. And you hear a voice. Child, approach.
Yeah, I'm awake. I'm asleep. Yeah. I'm just kind of like out of it and walks towards the thing.
There are changes within the realm you reside in.
The range.
The rain is to be feared. Pools are forming within your realm that bleed into others. Denizens of several realms will soon arrive. Stay on guard. Be prepared.
Through the pools, like the old fog used to do.
The fog was in air, a lifted version of the pools that connect realms. The colors are different, and you may recognize them based on color. You may dip into another realm of your own. These connections are not projections, they are real. And they are not under the control of anyone save Northon. So be wary.
Oh. Could we stop the rain?
I do not know how. I merely sensed the realm open into my very palace. And at that moment, I shut that gate before anything could come through. But there was something in between, something in the connection lurking, feeling. Even now, it enrages me to picture it.
As he does this, you see his eyes kind of flare.
Did you see it, or is it just a feel type of thing?
Seeing and feeling are one and the same.
Yeah. Was it kind of a red feel?
I would say it is more black and tar and darkness, feeding on everything around it, gripping and spreading like a virus.
I might have seen that before.
Whatever this infestation is, it does not bode well. Keep yourself in line, child. Be prepared for darkness in the coming days. But it will take him a while to form true pools with which dangerous creatures may arrive.
Great.
I would say by the time yours flows in, it should be no more than a few months. Chaos is coming. Be prepared.
He's just thinking, chaos is already here. What are you talking about?
Do you say that?
No, that's just in his head. He's like, yeah, chaos. Have you not seen our daily lives? Like, that's what's going through the back of his head.
In the meantime, I have a task for you, a means of growth. I see you are taking into yourselves these several fractures, and I have warned you of their changes. But I have supported you. However, I do not think they will be enough to keep you alive in the coming days. You must learn to control your draconic side more. Work on your breath. It is more than lightning, boy.
Okay, so, okay. He's like pondering it.
You have much of your mother in you. Remember that going forward.
Right.
There is much that you can become if you embrace the dragon within. But please, when you do this, do not make my mistakes. It is easy to fall towards the dark. I, in my own time, as Marduk, raged across the lands, causing wanton destruction. But there are many phases in the life of a dragon. Let your rage not consume you as you grow in power. And remember, you are Ox Bahumati. Now, sleep, child, and grow quickly. And you wake up. You wake up and you realize you still have a piece of pork hanging out of the side of your mouth. Yep. All right, so morning greets you on your second day of preparation. 13 days till the opening of the Selindor Academy Interscholastic Pentathlon. What would you all like to do this morning?
Before morning happens, I would like to use my dream spell.
Okay, who are you dream spelling?
That creepy elf from the caravan.
Okay, give me a second. Which one?
There was like a male and female, right?
They were twins.
Oh, they were okay.
Through the fireball.
There was where's their names?
Yeah, the one that threw the fireball.
That was the guy who threw the fireball. That was
He stole that necklace from like me or Bropsy or something, right?
Bropsy, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're going to do a dream spell on
I want to
Oya.
visit him in his dreams if he's dreaming.
Sorry, how the fuck do you guys remember this happening?
Because it was the first traumatic event we experienced.
I forgot this happened until you brought it up.
Yeah. So you cast the dream spell.
Mm-hmm.
Does there a save or anything, or you just invade that fucker's dream?
I'm pretty sure I just show up.
Okay.
I can pull up the if I can find it. Oh, I can search. Aha! Oh no, because it's a feature or trait. Fuck. Sorry. I don't know where it is on my list. Okay, I'll just Google it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's just shapes of creature's dreams. Creature you know must be on the same plane as existence. That's waived because of my dad. Oh shit! Creatures that don't sleep can't be contacted by this spell. But maybe I don't know if that's because elves don't sleep; they trance. I'm gonna try it anyway.
Okay.
And yeah.
So
Yeah, I just appear in their dreams if they're asleep.
So, as you cast the spell, and you try to connect to the dream of this individual, just vaguely in your memory now, but you remember clearly that face looking down at you as you fell off the mountain. And as you peer into the dream, you find yourself surrounded by heat, darkness in the distance, and a pile of bodies that are moving over one another. At first you think, like, is this like some sort of...
I froze. Fuck. God damn it. Discord. Why? Why does this happen? Discord's the only thing that's frozen. I need to force quit. I've troubleshot. I've done so much troubleshooting, and this problem simply will not resolve itself. I've reinstalled Discord. I've turned off hardware acceleration. I've followed all the guides.
And sheer... Oh my god.
I'm here. I'm coming back. Yeah. The thing is, I have done so much troubleshooting, and nothing has helped. So it's very frustrating.
He's sitting upon a shorn throne, and you can see.
Okay, so I heard the body. There's like bodies.
Yes, the bodies are kind of like writhing and moving, and there's like different. Some of them are writhing in fear, some of them pain, some of them lust. So like it's weird. It's like a really like it doesn't feel okay to look at any of this. Like it's not cool.
He's already in a nightmare, basically. My nightmare.
No, he's sitting on top. He's sitting on the top of this on a throne, and there appear to be two women leaning, or a man and a woman leaning over both sides, and they are feeding him some sort of fruit. And he is just smiling. He's sort of like kicked back and lounging in his chair.
I enter this vision as I'm like gonna dial up the matron kind of fracture, like the dripping clawed fingers. The black is gonna extend up my arm. I'm gonna have the kind of like bat wings out, but they're gonna be flaring with like darkness, like almost like the ring wraith effect in the Lord of the Rings movies, like a kind of flickering shadow.
You go full on hell mode. Gotcha.
Yeah, and I just want to have. I basically want to be unrecognizable, like my face is just kind of too blurry or too whipped by this shadow effect to really have any substance to it.
Yeah, it's just like eyes within the shadow.
Yeah, just like glowing eyes.
And they're the eyes that you have now, but not the eyes you had before.
I want to descend over this thing that's happening, and I want the throne to crumble beneath him to ash, and the bodies to dissipate and to leave him in like a barren wasteland.
So as he falls, as he falls, and he kind of just starts looking around for you.
As I descend,
he immediately kneels down, and he says, "Are you a messenger of my master? I am so sorry. How may I greet you?"
You may not greet me at all, swine.
Yes. Yes, of course.
Show me what you have done. And I want to conjure like an image of the blaze and the fireball and the caravan. Show me your victories, and then you may be worthy.
He looks up at you for a second. Make a deception check.
Can I get advantage for being so, like...
No. Because you came out of nowhere, and this is not necessarily something he's used to seeing, and you brought up something that he barely even thinks about.
I wanted it to be, like, really vague. But I need to double check, but I think that's a 21.
21? Oh, I gotta bring my dice out. That's a makeable insight check. Nope. So he goes, "Oh, well, of course. Magpie and I have had many victories. Which do you wish to see?"
Start from the beginning.
From the beginning.
The fire and the flame.
When I first met my master and he gave upon me my impossible. He brought me up from the darkness, from the gutters, and he gave me power. My first victory was killing my father. I burned him alive.
And I want the throne to kind of start to reshape, like just little bits at a time, with each, like, horrible thing that he tells me.
He says, "My sister at that time had gone insane. But under the patronage of my master, I learned many things. Darkness became my currency in pain. Pain became like water. The only thing that could sustain me in that weary material world. But when he gave me a task, had me steal a bit of resources, that is when he allowed me to finally arrive here. Well, I suppose it's a dream, isn't it? Well, this new world has so much opportunity.
I'm gonna like come in a little closer, and I want the shadow flickering around, like it's kind of like the border of this scene, and I want a finger of the shadow to kind of come out and caress his cheek.
He kind of like leans into it, like,
and I'm just gonna say, "Go on."
What would you say?
Go on.
Go on. He goes, now that I've been made a champion, I have learned many things. And my missions continue to grow. I don't know much about what you want me to describe here, but you need only look into my mind if you boast even the slightest amount of true power. He's looking at you now, just almost like a little bit overly cocky.
I will. I do have detect thoughts, so can I do that here?
Sure.
Just get like surface level what he's thinking, and then decide if I want to go deeper.
As you get your surface level, he says, "Who are you?" Says, "You don't belong. You're not a servant of my master. But if you wish to see," and then he shows you a few hundred years of him serving some sort of dark, infernal creature. And your event that happened with you does come up only in the sense that he remembers easily taking a carriage and then falling into a pocket of mist and then coming into Selindor. From which time he was approached by his master in full form, and he is in fact currently residing in the House Necrum. But makes regular visits to the Nexus.
Can I get any sense of his master from what I can see in his mind?
Let me go check my list real quick. Where's it at? Oh, there it is. Yes. It is a beautiful woman with long red hair and copper skin, 2 black horns protruding from her head, and her eyes look like actual garnet.
Okay. It's a pretty good lead.
Yeah, so her outfit, by the way, she has a red silk shirt tucked into a black underbutt corset, tight red leather leggings with thigh-high black leather boots with incredibly sharp stilettos. And my description says, she screams, "Dami Mami."
Sure.
Man, I was just about to ask why you're describing my alter ego.
Okay. So I get all this. I'm just gonna like keep this shadow form with the wings out and the flickering.
And he looks at you and he says, "Do you serve the Raven?"
Keep it up, and I might just serve you. And then I'll vanish, and the dream will end.
Okay. So as you guys wake up in the morning, you wake up, Seti, in your bed. In which bed did you end up sleeping in?
Mine, somewhere.
Yeah, well, yeah, I assume you're somewhere.
At the academy, I guess.
So High Realm? The High Realm Academy?
Yeah, I guess so.
All right, so you wake up and you look and you see that there is something, there's a mound of, like there's a body next to you. Like there's, like the sheets are, the blankets are risen on to your right.
And you think you're saying,
I poke it.
and you hear, and out comes midnight.
Midnight. Are you hungry?
Does like the happy like corgi butt wiggle.
Yeah.
Give him scritches. All right, let's go find breakfast. Oh my god, what a fucking night. I didn't know I had it in me. I scared myself.
He's a very confused little midnight.
Like,
All
No
right, let's
clue.
go scoop him up and head out down to the
All
banquet
right.
hall.
So you guys meet up in the banquet hall. I would assume, and as you guys find each other, you see Cleary is also there, and he's like, and he's got like a room that he pulls you guys out into if you're willing to follow him.
Yeah, sure.
Cool. So he pulls you over and he says, I have breakfast ready for those of you who need it. We got our own little personal set buffet
Midnight
that I
down.
had pulled to the side. And he begins weaving some magic. And then he goes, and he like takes out his crumples, comes over and he swishes, and there's like, you see runes like sort of like paint around the room. He says, and we are in private.
Excellent. I have a really big question for you right off the bat.
For me?
Well, anybody, I guess, and I'll minor image or minor illusion an image of the Dami Mommy from the nightmare. Does anybody recognize this woman?
Is this another one of those judging questions?
Make a religion check.
Is this everybody?
Anybody who wants to.
I rolled a doo-doo, so.
I got a 13.
My first roll, natural 1.
I mean, I got a 16,
Clary's.
but
Cleary also rolled a natural one.
19.
Popsy knows.
Pepsi has
Maybe.
like the lowest.
So nobody rolled
never
over a
mind.
20.
Midnight
Rossi just says my alter
Yeah.
ego.
You two rolled high.
You can tell that she is definitely a devil. Like she is not a demon. This is
I mean, I figured,
definite devil,
Given
specifically devil.
given what I saw, I figured it was some kind of hellscape deity. But
Bierna?
this
No.
is somebody. I last night I went into the dream of the guy that blew up the caravan that we were with, the creepy elf guy, and this is his master that he serves, and he's here in Selindor in House Necrom. But he has access to the Nexus, and he is a champion. So I just wanted to throw that out there. I don't know if it's what they're up to, or
I mean, she looks familiar. I believe I've seen her around the Nexus before, but I don't know her name.
well, her champion's doing some pretty terrible things.
Ah. Well, that would make sense. She's definitely a devil. And, well, they are not known for their moral... They're bad people.
Yeah.
But they don't want the hills to be destroyed either, so, you know.
Right.
Presumably.
As far as Northod's concerned, we are on the same page.
That would be a fair assumption. If they are within the Nexus, they are not actively helping Northot because they would have been purged. If they are, they would have to be doing so in secret.
Well,
And I
that's-
mean, very, very well orchestrated secret if your father was not to know about it.
Does he know everything or just
I would
most
say he
things?
knows more than anyone else. Omniscience can certainly be used to describe his potency, but he does not see everything at once, much like Northot. So, is he aware of
Does he
everything
know
happening at
more
all
than-
times? No.
Does
Would
he
he
know
find
more
out?
than Humphrey?
It's hard to say. I would say it would be about the same level of knowledge.
They seem like a pretty smart guy.
I liked him. It was refreshing to meet somebody that seemed nice.
Yes, Humphrey is Lord of Yisgard.
I'm gonna nod like I know what that is. Said he did.
All
Oh.
Grim knows is that his name is real. Well, I can't say his real name. That's bad, right? Shouldn't do that.
Oh, yes, if you do know, then the true name, for whatever reason, of any of the members, please do not speak them out loud. Within this zone, it is perfectly acceptable to say it out loud because it is just us. And he looks over at Mitnir. Those of us that have a hard time keeping information quiet, maybe just
Just scowls like, what do you mean? I forget most things.
that's actually true.
How dare you insult me by assuming I remember?
But certainly without the use of well, figuratively, cone of silence. Please do not say the names of any of them in a place in which anyone who might have deathly thoughts, especially Northart, could hear.
Speaking of dreams, I had one last night. It was not scary, apparently, which is good. But don't step in any puddles.
Why?
So you remember the fog stuff, right? That we ended up here and
Yes, the mist portals.
right. They're puddles now.
How? What makes you say this?
Dream. He told me. Like straight looking at Seti, like yeah, he told me. Like
Oh, the dragon.
yeah,
Dragon?
yeah.
Oh, well, of course you dreamed of dragons. You're... Never mind, that's very presumptuous of me.
It's not like a normal dream dragon thing.
It's your
It's
dream
probably-
realm.
Yeah, it looks at Seti like help.
It's like when I went to help him with his fracture, the dragon was there.
So is in a realm, yes.
Yes.
Okay.
So-
Interesting.
Who is this dragon? Is it like your dad or something?
Not exactly sure on that.
You haven't
Oh.
thought to ask?
Do you just walk up to someone and go, "Hey, are you my dad?"
Well, no, not. But ask who he is and what his interest is in you. Have you done that?
I mean, I know who. Like, I personally can't remember the name off the top of my head, but I do know who he is. Yeah. It's like, yes, I know who he is or who he says he is, but like,
Okay.
why he's in my head.
Right. I mean, the first time I went to my inner realm, Lady Hyacinth was there, and she turned out to be my sister. But at the time, I just thought, this is a weird lady I just met who has, for some reason, taken an interest in manipulating me because she's a fae and I can't trust her at all.
I mean, he's a dragon, so I trust him.
Okay.
It's a little different.
Sure,
The
I
only
mean, that-
requirement is that one.
Sure. But he told you the puddles shouldn't be stepped in because they're portals now.
Well, are becoming portals, and that they're worse than the fog.
If they are a liquid and the other one was a gas, you would think that they would be more concentrated.
Certainly
I
so.
mean, what does any of that mean? What do you mean worse? Worse how?
Well, the veils that create the current portals into different realms, as realms are created within Selindor, you enter a dungeon, for instance, that might appear. Those are created by the mist. They come into an area and they paint the area within a pocket into the tapestry of another realm. So that realm is sort of super transposed onto ours. At least that's the way I understand it. It's much to do with the way in the physics that the Far realm works, in which multiple layers all collapse onto one another, and viewing them through normal lenses would basically have you go insane.
Wait, I think I've got this. Grabs 2 pancakes. Like
Pretty
rubs them,
much.
like, and it's like fog, right? Mist, and then he's like, and then he just stabs like a hole through it, and it's like puddle.
That's actually very accurate, yes.
Okay, sure. Wow, okay. So there are holes now in the plains where you can just whoop. Right.
And
in
then-
theory, that would mean absolute travel between planes, which would be catastrophic to the fight against against Northart.
How do we stop the puddles? Do we need to? I mean, what we talked about last night, Clary. Do we need to find somebody to take these? Because I can't. I'm not strong enough, and I don't. They were pretty clear they don't want me taking one.
I don't know. Taking one what?
The fractures we talked about last night.
Oh, right. Yes. Sorry. We talked about a lot of things last night, and the ice cream still has my head swimming with joy.
It gave me
no.
a little bit of a tummy ache, but it was very much worth it.
Oh, yes. Sorry. I wouldn't know the first thing about how to deal with that, but if you mean finding someone, if you think that will bring a solution, then yes, we should go searching.
What
In the
about
meantime-
Cinder? I mean, you were really good friends with him, and he kind
Cinder's
of
got a wit unlike any else. I highly doubt he would take in a fracture that wasn't fire. He's got a fucking complex about fire.
Right. Well, and is he protective? I don't know.
Oh, but he's protective of his own interests. If you try to touch his research, you'll probably burn your face off. But I would say he probably cares about his close friends.
You're like half raises his hand, like
Yes, Mitnir.
it gets worse.
Oh, you weren't done. What?
Okay, like pulls the pancakes apart and goes like squirts some like raspberry stuff and some like blackberry jam stuff and goes. The thing I think is in between the puddles.
Just smashes the pancakes together.
Yeah.
What's in between the petals?
The cauldron with the thingy. The last cauldron, the tentacle thingy that we ran away from.
Right, yes, there were notes in that. You guys ran away from some sort of...
I meant to ask you last
aberration.
night. The Black Goat of the Woods. I found the name. It's the Black Goat of the Woods.
Yeah, that one. I think
I've
he's in between.
heard of that.
So what? He can come through these puddles, and anything passing through the puddles would have to go through him or become part of him.
Well,
or
if your
her.
pancake diorama is even remotely accurate, and he takes if you don't mind, he takes your pancakes, and he says, without the holes, and he covers the holes and he squeezes, comes out the side, no harm to the pancake. With the holes, squeezes, and you see the starts gushing out of the holes.
Oh,
So in this scenario, the raspberry and blackberry syrups are tentacles.
Or whatever it is that rests between the realms, which I believe, if you're saying that was also Northart's realm, in which those two collided, it might mean that would bring Northart able to, well, bring
So
his
how do we
incarnations
stop
full-fledged into
this?
Selindor.
Did your dragon person have anything helpful to say, or just dire warnings?
learn to use my breath better.
Are you bad at breathing?
Not that breath. The sparkly one.
Yeah, I mean it's really good. I've seen it. Is it? What's wrong with it?
I don't know, but he said get better.
Well, maybe you should practice. We could take you to like a practice. They have training grounds here. You could practice.
Yes. I believe the colloquial term for it is get good.
Right.
Is that what the kids call it?
None of us would know.
I actually heard it. I actually
These kids you
heard
speak of.
Master Eli say it just the other day.
But about the puddles, not so much.
Until we have vetted this information, I will task some of my people that are currently studying it from the University of Phoenix to go in with that mindset to treat it with caution. In the meantime, Seti, I think it might behoove us to have you maybe guide our friend here to Mitnia to into his inner realm to speak with this dragon to confirm his credentials.
I could do
No
that.
offense, but not all dragons are as benign as. They can't all be taken for the word just because they're dragons. And that's not to say that your dragon isn't benign. I'm just saying that, well, among the powerful dragons I know, very fair few of them are not very big fans of mortals.
Be less
Right.
mortal then. Easy.
Well, easier for some of us than others.
I'm just
I think
saying,
that's a good idea.
if I could take to the council that a dragon of good repute, assuming that this is a dragon that has any amount of legendary lore.
You really don't remember his name?
Maybe you'll like lean over and whisper the name into your ear.
What name do you whisper?
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that.
It wasn't it? It was Marduk.
Marduk.
And he's
Marduk.
but Mir's like, but he said names have power, and we're not supposed to say names. And
Oh, because we're not supposed to. Right. Claire, did you catch
Right.
any of that?
No, he whispered it in your ear. Telephone game.
No, I'll just make a little minor illusion that spells it out. Fuck! I'm crashing again! God damn it! I hate Discord so much. I'll be right back. I gotta end task again. It only happens when we're streaming. It doesn't happen. It's gotta be a conflict with OBS. Because I spend all week in Discord. Okay, hang on. I'm coming back. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
It's got to be a conflict with OBS. There was an update at some point. Something had to have gotten broken.
I just love that it never happens like in the middle where you're
Oops.
like, it's like in the middle of a sentence every time.
I know. Why I talk too much. That's what's happening. iTunes. There we go. Turn on my
That's
camera.
much better than the shared Discord, which
Okay.
made like an infinite echo happen in my
Yeah,
head.
sorry. That was not what I meant to do. So I make a little minor illusion that spells out like what I heard, like Marduk, maybe with like an E question mark.
Don't ask me to spell it.
I will hit the library and I will research this name, and I will do it with discretion. That will be a task that shouldn't take me more than today. In the meantime, we should probably discuss what our exact plans are and get on the same page as far as our investigation of influence.
Are you participating in the interscholastic competition? Scholastic.
Well, if you all deem it necessary, I mean, I should participate in something. Probably Neo Arcana for the is what I would participate in with my school, or I could enter the pretty much whatever you guys think would be fine. But I could lay low as well and try to find a way to
I think we need this.
infiltrate us.
Boxbreaker's the one that's going to have the thing up for grabs, right?
Yes.
We
they
need to
would
get
like it
that
if you didn't lose Boxbreaker.
Yes.
But if you do lose Boxbreaker, there are contingencies in which we can switch for a device that, looks like the Tesseract, but at the same time is, in fact, a bit of a listening device and scrying device that we could implant within. That said, if they are even remotely worth their salt, as far as cosmically,
They would
will
know.
be able to tell the difference.
Yeah, I think we need to practice a lot the Boxbreaker stuff, and the more friendly people we have in that competition on other teams, the better, right? Because if I lose it but you win it for your school, then it's still in good hands.
Fair enough. I will try to put together a team for Boxbreaker. And hopefully we don't face each other in the first round.
That would really suck, wouldn't it? That would be.
We would smash you.
No,
Wait,
that's not the point. We want to be in the final round together. That would be great.
Yes. So you all know the logistics of how the prize system works, correct?
Do we?
No. Well, the overall winner of the tournament gets to pick one artifact to keep. from the schools they've defeated throughout the competition.
What about the ones from schools that got defeated by other? Oh, but then it would have won. But there are rejected ones along the way. What if somebody rejects it, and it's not in the pool to pick from?
What do you mean? Rejects
Well, because if there are two teams that. No, sorry,
Or
my
do you
math.
just mean
my
the
math was
final
bad.
winner picks?
The final
Anything.
The final round of Boxbreaker is a 3-way race to the top. Boxbreaker is breaking a central non-hidden box in which all 3 groups fight over one, basically king of the mountain situation. The first person to grasp it claims it.
Do you have to like open it or break it or whatever to claim it,
Yes,
or do you just have to
it is
take
in fact a box. It will be a box that is. My guess. This is different every year, but I imagine they would make it pretty difficult considering the substance of this event. And my guess is it would be multi-layered, probably an attack aspect. You must break the box and also solve a riddle or also pick a lock. Probably a double-layered box, if not triple-layered.
Oh boy, so we need to know riddles, and I need to brush up on my lock picking.
Well, there's the puzzle box one. There are riddles, yes,
Wait.
But there's also puzzles that are visible and physical, tactile.
Oh shit, I just had an idea, but I don't like it because... Well, what you said about my brother last night, it made me think if you can't find him and if he's turning around really high-value gems really fast, I wonder if he would be good at picking locks.
That is a fair question to ask him. Again, I approached him under the guise of a gemologist, or someone who was interested in gems and his ability to acquire them, being someone who works in the mines. And granted, that was a bit shady as a business all in all, as he was, I imagine,
like is he stealing them from
company.
the mines or from, I mean, where did he get...
No, I believe it's
miners
more
probably
of a,
don't have ready access to, or is he a collector?
It's, again... He could very well be in the unsavory business of acquiring them illegally, which would be very good for us if you need somebody who can pick locks well.
I just said I didn't want to recruit anybody into this, but if you have that invitation to your school and we need somebody who's really good...
Well, the letter of recommendation is to the Grand School proper. You would still have to go through the... There is
interviews.
Still one more entrance exam.
Right.
Before this whole thing. It is at the end of the week. So he would be capable of...
You could also ask him for a
school.
crash course.
I could ask for some tips.
Sure. Whatever it is.
I mean, this is a wild assumption. I'm just, but yes, maybe we should.
We
meet
could
him
certainly meet him and
sooner than
find a
later.
way to ask. Meanwhile, the real question is, what are you all planning to do? I believe Seti was planning to do Boxbreaker and the Wisp Wallop.
I'm not really good at any of the other 3, so yeah.
Yes, I mean those seem like very, very apt choices for you. And what about the rest of you? What will you be participating in?
Who's he looking at?
All of you, like just waiting for somebody to say something.
I'll be doing the inventing one.
Right, the Artificers Showcase.
Yeah, and then I'm thinking Wisp Wallop because I'd be really good at that one.
Wisp Wallop. Wisp Wallop seems like a very good pick. If you're going to be, granted, if Mitney, were you going to do Boxbreaker with Seti since you're from the same school?
That was my assumption.
Yeah,
so initially I would have assumed that all 3 of you would have worked together, but if you need a third...
That would leave us without a third for Boxbreaker.
Is there anyone within your school that you trust?
We only really know Caldwell. I
do recommend getting to know more people.
We do know someone else.
Yes?
I'm drawing a blank.
The guy that flirted with you and wanted to go on a date so we could use the mirror things to...
That was also Caldwell.
Well, I didn't think that was Caldwell. I thought that was someone else.
That was
Caldwell.
Makes sense.
Caldwell is flirting with her, and he's flirting with Oren.
And
He's
And at one
flirting with
point, he
everybody.
mentioned Mitnir too. So
Yeah, he did. He did mention Mitnir too. Yeah, as another possible. He doesn't care.
Well, we also want to win as many events as we can for the school, right?
yes, but box breakers the most important.
I mean, yes, there is quite the substantial sum of gold that will be given to the winning school in additional funds. That this is actually a sort of fundraising event as well, and the schools will be given their budgets based on their performance during this. So your school will receive a much higher budget if your school wins, which would make your lives there easier. And certainly, since if you are one of the people providing the most contribution to the win, I'm sure you would be generously compensated for your work.
And then I was also going to enter the artificer one.
You do realize, as a part of the same school, you would be in direct competition with Orin for the spot.
Yes.
But even if I don't get in, I can still make my thing, right?
I mean, you can certainly make some. What is it that you plan on? I'm not to doubt your skills, but
You do have to make the thing before the competition.
Right. I need you to get me into the forge. Pointing at Art.
You can probably come with me and work on whatever you're working on.
I mean, you can help me too.
Well, I got to finish my thing first.
I feel
Well,
like
yeah,
he'd be helping his direct competition.
I'm just because only one person can enter for the school.
Well, one
I mean, it
group.
would increase our.
In theory, it's one invention, and any group of artificers that worked on it present together. So it's not really one person, so much as it is one group of
So
people.
Aaron gets 2 entries, see?
Oh, no, that's not how it works. Not even a little bit.
If you think you can invent something that would, because it would increase our odds of getting chosen to represent the school for this competition if there are 2 of us participating at the preliminary level. But then it would mean that, I mean, what happens if he doesn't get picked? Can he join another competition then?
I mean, certainly, if it's about the signups, your school should be probably posting them this week. So there's the way it's usually done at our school. Well, they haven't done one before, so I'm not exactly sure. But they'll probably be testing to find out who would be best suited for a particular task. Eli knows, as he is in contact. I need to stop laying down. As he is in contact with those in the council, he's aware that your ulterior motives in work and will give you preferential treatment. Some of the rest of you, for instance, Grim, it is very hard to influence Willow, as she doesn't give a flying fuck, to quote her.
That means I get to do whatever I want.
Yes, but the real question is whether or not we can find something suitable to make use. And really, we need a better plan than what the council gave us as a guideline for infiltration.
Don't worry, I've got it. I'm fine. I'm going to win mine.
Well, that's good and all, that you're going to win. But it would also be good to find out how that will help us within Varuna, and if there's anything you could do additionally to.
No, you'll see. I have it all planned. It's good. They won't ignore Grim. They will be very interested in Grim.
I think it would be very good as a group and as your liaison to the council. It would be great if we could get a concrete plan that we're all aware of, so nothing can go awry. If it's your invention or whatever it is you're doing itself that you want to keep under wraps, I'm sure that's fine. I'm sure you could surprise us. But as it relates to our plan to infiltrate in Varuna, I think being open with one another is important in cooperation.
Yes, but you know, it's just I'm making a spell, so it will.
But you believe this spell will draw them attention to you in some way that we could use, or
In two ways, yes. One, because it's a very good spell.
sure.
And two, because of, well, I don't want to say it.
Right.
Can't
Okay.
say it around the bird.
You can't say it
Can't-
around the bird.
You,
Oh,
you can.
I understand. No, I think I do. But I think he's probably going to do something that would be offensive to your sensibilities, and he would rather not burden you with that knowledge.
well, that's a type of
I would
kindness,
rather
I suppose.
us all be on the same page. If it is something you don't think that I would like, then I will simply pretend I didn't hear it afterwards. But I think that the group deserves to know.
No, I mean, the spell would require me to kill something, so, you know.
I mean,
I mean,
I think we've all killed here.
you're not like
Sad.
talking about killing a baby or something, right?
No, not a person.
Okay.
I mean, I think that's acceptable. I mean, I can't speak for the group, obviously.
We've all done a lot of killing, and we've all swept some things under the rug and pretended things didn't happen that we would rather just not deal with. So,
Right.
what's one more?
So if you're
And
saying
if you must know, I'm going to kill a goat.
goat, well, actually, I think we can all get behind that.
See? Right? Don't you think that would get their attention?
Sorry, I personally have a strong aversion to goat and goat-related creatures.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
think that would get their attention.
Orin
Fair
slowly
enough.
backs out of the room. No.
Ever since that thing happened in the woods with that thing, I have had nightmares about goats.
yeah, I mean, I got
go.
gored by one, so I'm not particularly attached.
I know when I'm not wanted.
You're not a goat, though.
If you want
You're
to
only
be the-
like half goat.
You're not even
you can
half
be the
goat. There's
test
no.
subject if
I
you
mean,
want.
He has
Well,
horns.
The big thing is to try to figure out how we're going to make use of
That's
this.
less than half
you
a
will
goat.
obviously grab their attention, but the promulgation is on the last day of the event.
Yes.
And whereas, would you guys like to hear the schedule for the event?
Sure.
Good. Well, I will begin reading that out. But first, if you guys want to take a quick break, I know we've all been eating and could probably.
I could use a bathroom break. Yeah.
Wonderful.
pancakes
We'll
went right
reconvene in
through me.
about 5 minutes. If you all agree to that. Good. Great. We'll be back in 5, guys. Thanks so much for hanging out. Back in a bit. And we're back.
Back.
So, as he pulls out the syllabus, the schedule, for the pentathlon. Okay, so the pentathlon will begin on Ference Day. It begins with an opening ceremony at dawn, and then the fairgrounds will open after the opening ceremony and announcements. When the fairgrounds open, they'll be open pretty much the whole day, and they close before the social event of the evening, which has yet to be announced, whether it'll be a dance or whether it'll be some sort of cheese mixer. No idea.
They're just gonna mix a bunch of cheese?
Oh, and it's like a hangout while you eat cheese. So yes, gonna mix a bunch of cheese in their stomach. Usually.
Sounds like they're going to have trouble later.
Yes, I mean, for all we know, it'll be something far different. Maybe it'll be a jousting tournament. We don't know. Anyways, social event would be at the end of the day. But the events that will be happening on the first day are Alchemy Roulette, the first round. Begins in the day. It should be a 2-hour brewing. And then Box Breaker will take the majority of the day for round 1. So it's a round robin elimination. So when the schools eliminated, they're gone. So the first day is going to be mostly eaten up because we've got 12 schools competing. Then we have on Pelos Day, the fairgrounds will open first thing at dawn. No announcement of opening ceremony, obviously, because it's the first day. And then Alchemy Roulette will take a full workday of 7 hours that day. In the middle of which, because it is such a long brewing process and will take such a large majority of the day, they will be doing Wisp Wallop in the interim to keep people's attention grabbed.
All right.
Following that, they will do round 2 of Boxbreaker, which is going to be the remaining competition, which would be 3 box-breaking competitions that day held at the different arenas.
How much time is there between Wisp Wallop and Boxbreaker?
Plenty of time to do both. Wisp Wallop would be happening around lunch, and then the afternoon would.
I mean,
around...
more about will I have time to get a rest in if I use.
Not a long rest.
Maybe it's not a good idea to have the same people compete in those then.
We have a statue.
Oh!
That's correct. If you use the statue that I created, you could in fact get that resting.
Right. I always forget that she's more than. All right. Yes. Okay. Fair enough. Good thinking, Mitnir. Good job. I just think of her as a beautiful sculpture of Clary's ex now, but you know.
Well, so Boxbreaker round 2, then the fairgrounds close, and we have another social event. Then on Neryl's Day, you have Alchemy Roulette round 3 in the morning. Alchemy Roulette round 3 is going to be involving time dial cauldrons, which they have advertised from last year's Artificer's Expose. Once that is done, that will be crowned as the winner, and the prize for the first place participant will be their own time dial cauldron, which those of you who do brew might be quite nice. And then there are the Boxbreaker finals. Oh, sorry, Artificer Expose comes after that. The Artificer's Expose will have the morning slot in the main auditorium, and then we will have the Boxbreaker finals, in which pretty much it's just the one event, and that'll be at noon. And then in the afternoon, we have the Neo Arcana Promulgation and the closing ceremony, and of course, the much sought after party, which will be hosted and provided with lots of titillating things from Feywild's teachings. This is where they usually claim their rights in the school, despite throwing a wicked after party. But it's pretty much all the schools are partying at the same time. However, if we have done our jobs properly, hopefully we will be using that time for more important matters.
Right.
Partying.
Yes. Maybe we'll be partying for a job well done, because we've already rooted out that Inveruna is just a bunch of invalid little tweaks who are obsessed with Northrop.
Best outcome.
Incels on Reddit. I'm just kidding.
Take them down. All right. Fair enough. Yeah, I mean... Okay. Sure. So I'm just going to focus on practicing for Boxbreaker and Wisp Wallop.
Speak with your headmaster or any representatives within your school. Find out how they are determining who is going to be participating in each event, and try out. The more things we're in, the more control we're going to have. Get yourself on the official listing for the team for the school, and I guess we could take up planning from there if you guys don't want to. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they told me tryouts were on whatever Monday is in this world. So if it was Friday yesterday, it's Saturday now. So 2 days until tryouts. Well, today, if you count today, is 3 days, but... I think in the meantime, I want to practice and read up on strategies, and so that way when we do tryouts, then we're good at it. Or at least better than we might be right now.
Seems like a fair play. So that's why I was most interested in finding out what it is you all wanted to do. I have as much information as you need to know for each individual thing. Any rules you need explained. I have, yeah.
You said the 2 hour brew?
The morning brew will be done within 2 hours on both the first and final day.
Wait, they're on the final day too? I thought I was on the final day. My other thing. Are they both on the final day?
The alchemy roulette happens on all 3 days. It is one of the longer events.
Oh, but it's not.
The
It's
final
different.
round of alchemy roulette happens in the morning and is a 2-hour event. So same with the first alchemy roulette, which is on Farron's day, and that'll be a 2-hour event. But it will take the majority of the day of the second day.
Oh, okay. So just to clarify, does that mean like minor potions the first and third days, or?
No, actually, you'll be using a time dial cauldron on the third day to brew an even more advanced potion.
Okay, I gotcha.
But it cuts the time down.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But if you mess up at any point, the whole thing's fucked.
So the first day is going to be like a minor potion.
It'll be a common potion.
A common potion. But we're using the time dial cauldrons still.
On the last day, you'll be using the time dial cauldrons.
Okay.
On the first day, it'll be a potion that you can brew because my times are going to be slightly different.
Mm-hmm.
Within the 2 hours
I was
of
like
the
looking
day.
at like all the 1 day times for all the potions, and I was like, okay, what am I gonna actually make in 2 hours?
No. The ones that are like, oh, it's going to take a full day. Those are going to be on the second day.
Okay.
So it'll be like a regular common potions are going to be cut down to like, okay, those take like 2 hours to brew. It takes you 2 hours to brew a common potion. It takes you like a full work day to brew an uncommon potion, and then you get into the really long shit with rare and very rare, right?
Okay. Cool. And do they? I guess this is one character. Do they have the ingredients there, or do we have to bring?
Yes, the ingredients will all be provided. But I've heard repeatedly during these competitions that some days, usually the longer brewing day, they do not provide the ingredients you need. They will provide alternative ingredients, and you are to improvise. For instance, creating a potion using troll's blood as opposed to using the mushrooms that I hear are required for brewing healing potions. That sort of thing.
Okay. Good thing I've been studying.
Well, yes, that is good. Well, so that's alchemy roulette. Any other questions about anything else?
I don't think so. Not for me, anyway.
Not till after tryouts.
Yeah.
Good. Well, find out when the tryouts are for your schools. Speak to whoever it is you need to speak to. And then we can assign roles on how we wish to accomplish this, I suppose, after we've made that stride. The biggest thing is how we're going to divide our labor. As if we're spending all of our time, all of us competing, we'll have a very hard time keeping tabs on Varuna. So it's good that we're all not all participating in the same thing.
Right, and if anyone doesn't qualify, right, they have free time then.
Yes. That free time hopefully will be used to, again, keep tabs on Varuna or make money.
It would be nice to have an income source.
Yes, your father will no longer be providing additional funds, but I still have quite a lump sum left.
I mean, personally, I'm happy to take my father for all he's worth, so, you know.
Minier's like looking in his coin pouch like, we're getting an allowance? What?
Also, we need to find some diamonds. Maybe...
What's in the jar?
The Supreme Potion of Healing.
We do still have a bunch of diamonds, though, right? Or did we sell them?
Oh no, we have a fuck ton of diamonds. We have not managed to sell any of them, so we need to maybe.
Well, if you're looking for a place to fence diamonds, I would recommend the Crystal Undercity.
Well, that's where we got them from.
Guess is that your brother was probably very.
Keep in mind, we need gems for the statue to work.
Yes.
And we need,
but we don't
need diamonds
need...
for a bunch of different
So
stuff.
Yes, but we don't
tribute
need
to channel her powers.
We have like 10 or like 100,000 gold worth of diamonds, so we don't need all of that.
I'm just saying, keep in mind though.
I know. I don't want to get rid of all of them.
Well, I'll hold on to the extras.
No. We'll be keeping like a really good amount of diamonds. I don't think, and we can't flood the market, or they'll become meaningless in value. So if we can just get rid of enough at the time to give us some income, then that would be nice.
Yeah,
So,
like I need it for grid restoration and
yes.
Could I
what's
have
the
a
other
small
one?
Okay.
Reincarnate
All right. So who
and
needs
that's
diamonds?
engines.
Who needs diamonds, and how many gold worth of diamonds do you want from me right now?
The
Yes,
smallest
that
one
seems
we
like a
have.
good idea.
Trying to think of which ones I actually have that have material components. Let's see.
Let me find where I wrote them down on me.
And
You trying to get make a stylus one or something?
kind of. I
I
mean,
guess you
diamond
really
style.
only need.
and Arn, can we get more mithril? I know you ordered some from our thing from those guys. Can we get more?
Like, how much more? I'm getting a lot in like 2 days.
Enough for this much. He just like holds up his hands like.
It's like an ounce.
All right,
I mean,
Mitnir
yeah.
gets a 500 GP diamond. 500 gold is what that diamond is worth that Mitnir gets right now.
And we don't need this back, right? It's okay if
It is yours to do with as you wish.
All right, so your 500 gold diamond, by the way, is about this big. And about this round, it is very big.
just kind
It
of
would be
nods like that'll work.
It would be a very, very large rock, by our standards.
Grim, what do you need?
No, I just if I don't have that many spells actually that if we need to greater restore something, just hand me a diamond. It's fine.
Okay, but what if I get killed or eaten or something? So
Okay.
why don't you have two, like 1,000 gold worth of diamonds?
Sure. They need
Alright.
to be powdered though. We
Well, I'm sure you have alchemy equipment and stuff. You can crush diamonds, can't you?
probably you can crush diamonds. It takes still. I think it takes a fair amount of force.
Hmm.
Maybe I just have Ernie stand on them.
Well, if you want me to hang on to them and get them powdered for you while I'm out, I guess I could try that.
I mean, I don't know. Does it matter, right? Well, I guess I would know if it matters.
I'm
That's not
sure in the
going
Crystal
on.
Undercity they know how to powder diamonds.
They sure do.
That's true. Or I could just ask Chrissy to crush him between.
Is she harder than a diamond?
I don't know.
Why don't you
Diamonds
just
don't
ask
have
me?
a-
I'm sure I could do it.
Yeah, but here, step on this diamond.
Let me see how much.
It's like there is a hole
Crushed
in my
into-
foot.
There's a hole in the floor with a diamond like
Yeah.
permanently lodged.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I will plan on going to the Crystal Undercity and getting rid of some diamonds and powdering some more, and then I'll come back and we'll split the proceeds for the diamonds I sell. And I'm going to meet my brother, I guess.
How many siblings do you have?
Probably a lot more than we know about. I mean,
That's
what? This would just be
nasty.
like number 4, but I mean, yeah, I think
Well, it
they're...
depends on what you mean by siblings. If you're talking about those that could call her sister because they source from Lord Iris, hundreds. If you're talking about ones that are biologically related to her, hundreds,
See?
but different hundreds.
There we go. Yeah, so...
This is why it's much easier to just have regular parents that are not gods.
Yeah, who knew, right? Who knew? I never imagined I had siblings. I always wished I had siblings because then I wouldn't be the only weirdo where I was growing up.
I mean, now you could probably walk up to anybody and say, "Hi, brother, sister," and you might
Oh
be
my
right.
god. What if I've like already met people that are related to me and I didn't even know it? What if that creepy elf was related to me?
Well, I do have something to tell. No, I'm just kidding.
Dear God, all right. Anyway,
Well, I guess everyone to their own devices. I suggest we probably reconvene every morning to at least check in. make sure everyone's doing well.
Should we plan on meeting here in this room?
Yes, I could have this room retained for us in the morning. I just have to put in a request, but I'm sure it'll be approved.
All right.
Good. Good. I'll file the paperwork and go team.
Go team.
team.
And
Teams. We're on not all on the same team.
Clary, when do you want to go to the Crystal Undercity? Do you want to do it now or later today or
I
tomorrow?
will need time to submit this form if we're going to use it tomorrow, and I want to do it before the administration office closes. So
Okay.
give me a few hours, and then I'll be ready.
All right.
Maybe
Well,
do some
check and
classes.
see if any of the kids want to go with you, since they, are from there. They might, maybe they need to get something from there.
Hmm.
I don't really know them, but if you want to check in with them,
They're with Lady Hyacinth.
I don't really know her that well either.
Yeah.
They're probably fine. They were just collecting dead bodies down there anyway. I don't know. Maybe they had like something that they left there. I don't know.
Sure. I'll ask.
Well, I wish you all the best of luck in your endeavors. And then as he gestures, all the runes disappear, and he says, "Oh, break. Great breakfast."
Great breakfast. All right.
I'm off to buy some goats
Good luck with your goats.
Where's he gonna keep his goats?
in the tower.
Where does he keep Ernie?
Oh,
like,
no.
it's just.
I mean, come on.
Ernie is just like wandering around wherever Ernie wants to be.
Ernie, he's doing whatever he wants. It's Ernie.
You can't tell me his school would be upset that goats are randomly eating
Yeah,
the
they would
sheets
not
and the
care.
pillows. They'd be like, cool.
Their royal
They'd
teacher
be
would
like,
not
"We have
care if
goats
there was
now."
goats. In fact, we have a limitless cauldron there. The goats would be very well fed.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
As long as they like soup.
Yeah,
On the way home,
unfortunately,
I'm gonna
it
pick up
is in
the
fact
goat.
goat stew.
I was gonna say,
I'm
it's
just
a
gonna
goat
walk
stew.
into the tower with like 10 leads and just take 10 goats to the tower.
Huh. Okay, sorry.
All right.
Minecraft noises. All right. So, who would like to do what? Let's start with Mitnir. Mitnir, where are you going today for your work?
Mitnir is
preparation.
bugging the shit out of Aaron today.
Oren, you got Mitnir sitting there really wanting to get work on his project. What are you guys doing?
I mean, I got to go work on my project, so if he wants to tag along.
Yeah, so with you arriving, it's the same guy standing in front of the doors of the whoops. So there's some kind of halls. Halls of
Erudition?
Erudition.
erudition.
Before we
No.
get
What
there,
they are? I don't
just-
know.
be like, I'm talking to Aaron on the way there, just like, okay, Aaron, you shoot like light from your, he's like acting out like shooting light from his hands. Like, how do you do that?
I've just always kind of been able to do it.
Sorry, they are the halls of nascency. I keep saying halls of nascency instead of the verboten reliquary, which is where the key piece is hidden. So halls of nascency are the workshops.
And Erudition is like the library, right?
Yeah. That's what it is.
No, erudition is the study halls. It's like the main section of the tower where all the classrooms are made each day. Like they're not even
okay.
like solid, but it's the halls of study. It's the halls of
Okay.
erudition.
Mm.
The anathema is the
Library.
library. Yeah,
Okay.
my brain's
yeah.
broken.
We got there in the end.
No, it makes sense. I just, could not remember things.
I've got it pulled up now. I've got everything. Yeah.
But
And
but
there's
how
the
do you
towers.
control it? Like, because you don't always just like.
It's just when I want to do it, it happens. I don't really.
What? What are you talking about?
Mitney's trying to figure out how to get good.
When I shoot my radiant bolts.
Oh, gotcha. I got lost for a second. Go ahead.
But it's like you don't always do that. Sometimes you're like, oh, and then they like fall down on the ground and like.
Sorry.
I mean, it's always there when I need it. I don't have to like charge it up or anything like that. Like I can shoot it right now if you wanted me to.
I mean, but I do like right. It's kind of like a burp, and I can like do the thing, but it's not the same as like burping, right?
No.
So like, do you think about it? Or is it just like reflex?
It's more like reflex. When I think about it, I can do like the other stuff, like the big ball.
Did they teach you that in the monk thing, or like are you born with that one? Because like right, I'm born with mine. You know, just kind of.
Maybe it's
I-
Maybelline.
I think I was kind of inherited, maybe.
So you couldn't teach me.
No. No.
The rest of the way there, Mitnir's like trying to like punch. Like
All right, so you guys arrive at the halls of nascency, and it's like the same guy standing in front of it, and he's like, he looks at you, he's like, he looks at Orin, he's like, he with you?
Yes.
All right, name the visitor?
His name?
Yeah.
Mitnir. He is part of the school.
How do you spell Mitnir?
just staring at him. I'm just like.
Right, I'm just gonna do my best guess.
MITNEIR.
Oh, cool. I had an A in it.
Now is my name there, like written down?
Close
Yeah.
guess.
Now I'm on the list.
Yes. Yes, you are. As a day past guest,
Still counts.
you may pass.
Just kind of like goes, tunk, you know, just
What? What is
just
what's
like takes the day pass, like
Yeah. Not good. Well, enjoy the halls of nascency. Try not to get into too much trouble. As you guys head inside, you see that there are a lot of people working now. A lot more than there were before. I think the novelty of the rain, which has stopped now. This morning, it is no longer raining at the moment. But yeah, you find your way to your workstation and continue working on your project. As far as
Yeah.
I'm aware, Caldwell is not there yet this morning.
I think I can do stuff without him, though.
Oh yeah.
Most
Mitnir's
of his
just like-
stuff is done, I think. It's mostly me now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like roughly sketching stuff and just asking Orin questions about like design.
Sure. So you guys can talk that over between yourselves, like sort of how you want to do it. But I'm going to have you, if you choose to help him in any way, then I'm going to have you make your check for working on your board today at disadvantage because you're distracted by Mitnir bothering you for his help. But I will let you, Mitnir, roll with advantage.
Ooh. How would Orin do that?
You can just ignore him and give him bad advice and just keep working on your project, and then he will have disadvantage as is appropriate, and you will just do your normal roll, or you can give him advantage and you get disadvantage.
I think Orin would probably focus on his project because he's a bit of a perfectionist when it comes to making things.
Okay.
So it's like, hey, is this a good shape? Yeah, uh-huh.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
That'll
yeah.
work. All right, cool. So you have to roll yours with disadvantage. Go ahead and roll me. I think it's intelligence plus proficiency.
Is mine disadvantage or just flat?
Yours is disadvantage. You have disadvantage on your roll, but you're not using intelligence to make this thing, are you?
Me?
Yeah. What are you doing right now? You're just
So what I am roughly making, like without going into super detail right now, is just basically a really fancy carving knife, essentially.
a really fancy carving knife.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I
So it's
think
not
you
like
could-
there's no moving parts, or there's extremely few like complicated parts. It's
Sure.
mostly just a blade.
Okay. Yeah, I think for the moving parts, like this is your design phase. So for today, I will say, roll with wisdom, and you. I'm gonna say no proficiency because I don't think you're proficient in making this kind of stuff. I don't think you've ever really made a blade before. Well, although you did spend some time with
In the
grung,
blacksmith.
I would say with proficiency, yeah, because you spent enough time with the grung while you were indentured there to have learned a thing or two about making blades.
So just a wisdom
And he
roll
was a master.
plus proficiency.
That's correct. And then he'll give yours as well, Oren. But yours is also with disadvantage, Minier.
I'm doing my usual intelligence. Am I
Mhm.
straight roll or what was mine?
This is just straight roll, yeah. You're just not getting disadvantage for him distracting you.
Okay. So I gotta add 5 to this roll. Oh, that's gonna be good. 27.
27. Yeah, not only do you make progress, but you make very good progress. What percentage are you done for completing it so far?
Let me check. I think I was at 70? Yeah, 70%.
Yeah, so you're now at 90% complete after today. You're getting a
Nice.
full 20%.
With disadvantage and then plus proficiency is a 19.
19.
I rolled
Okay.
a 15 and a 13 with a plus
Hell
one.
yeah. Yeah, you designed this thing. It's like this thing is calling out to you. Like you know that you can make this. You know that like more or less, even with like the bad like information coming from Oren, you still like kind of like, oh, I mean that's still a knife. Like so you put enough designs in there that you think that working off of this you could probably make a functional prototype of what you want to make. But you would definitely still need help from an expert to get the if you have any real moving parts to get that mechanism down.
I'll
But
describe
you
it to
do
you
enough
later.
of a diagram to get other people to like kind of get an idea of what you're going for. So you could probably pull your own team together if you wanted to, or try to. Just like be like, hey, I want to build this. So you get a pretty decent diagram.
I can spend part of the day doing that. Like once he's like super distracted, just like, how busy are you? Do you want to work on this? Like just random people.
Okay. Rather than have you like investigate, go find a person and then do it. Just give me a persuasion check.
Oh boy, let's see. Persuasion. And I'm not trying to intimidate at all. For once, I'm trying to be like,
Yeah.
I rolled a 3 for a 10. Wait. Hold on. I'm gonna use luck for
From
an
your sword.
ability check on my sword because I remembered it finally. So I get to roll it one more time. That's a 17.
All right, so you're wandering around and you're like, nobody's listening to me. So then you pull out your sword and you start walking around. And you're like, hey.
Well, the good news is the sword just has to be on my person. It doesn't have to be out.
I just pictured you just like, this wasn't working. Sing. Who wants to
Hey,
help
you!
me? Who wants to help me now? Like, oh, okay. But yeah, so as you're working on it, you begin asking people, and they're like, I'm working on my own project. I'm working on my project. It takes you most of the day, and then finally, you come across this dwarf who's just like sitting in the corner, and he's himself is just like cutting a piece of wood, and you walk in with a knife, and he's like, "What you want?"
I want to make this, and just holds up like the paper.
He hands it off. You hand it off to him. He looks at it for a second. You're a terrible artist, you know that?
I'm not good at drawing, okay?
But I get what you're going for here, more or less. I mean, it shouldn't be that hard to make, to be fair.
And I don't have the metal yet, but I will.
You're gonna need something strong.
I mean,
What kind of metal you pulling?
Mithril's strong, right?
Hey man, mithril will do.
And I'm gonna pull out the diamond and be like, and it's gonna have some of this in it.
I mean, yeah, that'll do as well. All right. What school you from?
The high academy.
All right, man.
Yeah.
Tell you what, friend, I'm actually a part of the Silverwind, but nobody's got to know who's on my team. Any chance you want to work for us, we can take down anybody from your school. Pay you.
How much?
Depends on how good the prototype works out, but I could certainly split some of the grant money. Give you 10%.
I get the final product.
Oh yeah, fine.
Deal.
Fair enough. We'll get working. Let me know when you've got the mithril and we'll get into the forge.
And I'm gonna get his name and stuff so that I can keep track of that.
Name's Korik.
All right. The only thing I don't know is what to make the handle well out of.
Well, that's one of those things, isn't it? I mean, it depends on what you want to do with it, per se. I'm just spitballing, but dragon bone's not bad. I mean, no offense,
I mean, none taken, right?
but as a vessel, it can hold pretty much anything. It's completely resistant to penetration from most corrosive agents and everything else. So, not to mention, it's good on the grip.
So you mean we could put acid in the handle too?
Oh yeah, you could.
Where do I get dragon bone? Well,
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, you can obviously buy it. The alchemists I know are trying to collect a fair bit for the competition. Past that, hunting and killing one I'll do.
didn't think to get bone.
That just seems like a waste, friend.
We are kind of freezing to death.
I say no more. I understand rigors of. Must have been a white dragon, eh?
Yeah. Carthus? No. Was it Carthus? Shit. What was his name?
Carthus. Never heard of him. Must have been a young one. Fair enough, though.
I think he was that old.
Cool. Well, anyways, yeah. Start getting the materials together. I'm gonna get you a full diagram that is mapped out to what we need for the actual specifications. We'll get some work in on it. I think it's an interesting idea.
Once we have the materials, I'll give you the full idea.
Fair enough. I think I pretty much understood what you're talking about here, just from what I've seen.
Your head's off to go find.
Well for your kind, but also for further enchanting, I think it would be nice.
Meeting your head's off to go find dragon bone with whatever's left in the day.
Yeah, I don't think you're gonna find much for the rest of the day, but you can try.
He's willing to
go
offer.
ahead.
He's offering way too much money for it.
Okay, make an investigation check for Dragonbone.
That's an 18.
18. I'm going to say that you've got a lead. You got a lead from an individual that you talk to, but there's not like any within that hasn't been bought up by the Alchemist Roulette like prep squad within Selindor Academy, and just like the little market that's up at the top of the like the sort of landing area around the Towers of Thought. But you do know that there are some markets on the bridges that they know that some of the markets between here and Selindor proper, along that big massive stretch of bridge, there is rumor that there is at least one merchant who is sometimes there who has dragon bone. And that's what you find out.
Yeah, I figured that'd be tomorrow's adventure.
Sure. Oren, so you work your whole day on that more or less. Caldwell does join you at some point, gets like an idea of what you're looking for, and then he comes in, he's like, so I actually made like a few adjustments. If you're interested, I figured out that we don't actually need the full foot to be anchored. You can actually only, if we just anchor the central part, you can check this out. And he puts the enchantment down and he places it, and you see that there's different rings now in the center, and he puts it like foot on the plate,
then he starts rotating his foot independent of the board. He's like, you see what I'm seeing here? We just locked the relative position between the central point of the foot, and you can rotate it. So if we want to adjust speed, we could just make it a dial that judges your relative position on the foot of the board, and then that can adjust our speed.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just something I was thinking about. Like, if you want to implement it, it might set us back a little bit, but I think we got time.
I think we got lots of time.
Eh? Maybe it'll be like a small rework, so maybe set you back. It'll set you back 10%, but it'll improve the overall quality of the board.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Cool. All right, so now you've got an easy speed adjustment dial.
I think we still have like a week and 5 days or something.
Mm-hmm. All right, we'll keep working on it. Get some more improvements time and time again. I mean, the better the thing we develop, the higher chance we have of winning.
Yep, definitely.
Cool. Let's get cracking. Also, you got plans for dinner? Or you just want to work straight through?
You know, we have time. We could eat.
Cool. I've got this nice little quaint little bistro on the east side of Selindor. Take a portal over there, have some wine, talk
Wait.
about our invention.
What kind of portal?
One of the Selindor portals.
That's not gonna work for me.
Oh, all right. No, that's fine. You know, we'll just you know, we'll work through and we'll order some takeout.
All right, we could do that.
Cool. See, he's a little bit downtrodden, but he's okay. All right.
So do I put it back to 80%?
Yeah, back to 80%, but it'll be an overall better product.
It'll be a +1 board.
It's just gonna have significantly easier speed control. It's gonna be more intuitive, so it'll be easier for everybody to ride without having the ability to control magic themselves.
Ooh.
Okay, so Grim, what up? You're buying goats.
Hopefully my son's not too bad. Yeah. I'm gonna go buy 10 goats.
Okay, I don't know how much goats cost, so I'm gonna trust you
It
to spend
costs
the
1
correct
goat,
amount of
so
money.
I'm gonna spend a platinum to get 10 goats.
Okay. So you go to buy some goats. You actually end up. This takes a lot longer than you expected it to because you have to go out into the field, the pasture lands that surround Selindor,
Yeah.
which are really weird now because of the rain. So there's like whenever you start walking through, like there's grass, and it used to all be green, but now there's different shades of grass, different colors. It almost looks like a rainbow as you're walking through Selindor. It's gorgeous. It's beautiful. All the little dewdrops have different droplets of color. But it kind of makes you almost nauseous when you look at it whole on. But you do see that there is a small ranch where you're able to pick up a couple of goats. And they're like, hey, you want to buy some else while you're here? I got swine, I got ducks. Yeah, I got
No, I
heifers
already
if you
have-
want something big and juicy.
I already have a gigantic pig. So
Yeah, or maybe we'll
He's-
compete someday at the county fair. Check out my big pig. And you look around, and it's just this big fat ass pig. Like it can't even put his feet on the ground because his belly's so big and plump.
it's very big, but it's not as big as Ernie, right?
That pig right there literally broke the BMI register. They tried to check what his body mass index was, because that bullshit, and turns out there ain't numbers that go that high.
Ooh. Well, be careful, because my pig would probably try to conquer your pig. So he likes to conquer.
Like sexually?
I don't know. He hasn't really conquered anything yet. He just talks about it all the
I mean,
time.
we can talk about pig breeding. That's a female swine.
I mean,
I mean, we can talk about getting a surprised hog for next year's festival. If you got yourself a big pig, I got myself a big pig. Maybe we'll make an even bigger pig.
How does that work if one is awakened and the other one's just a pig? Is that...
I don't know what you're talking about. My pig's awake most of the day. He's not sleeping.
I don't know if is that wrong or not to have an awakened pig mate with a not awakened pig.
I think it's wrong. You gotta wake that pig up first. That's about consent.
Okay, that make so okay. We'll do that. Yeah, maybe someday. Okay, I'm taking my goats and going now.
Yeah, thanks for the money, sucker.
Okay, I'll take my goats and make my way back.
Okay, you take the goats back, and you realize one of them is a sheep.
Well, then that one will have to not be saved for the.
Now go, and then one of them goes, meh. And you're like, aha. That's it.
Well,
That's the one you use on potion day.
Because you don't know everything's wrong because you don't have the sample size. It's a different species and it doesn't work. Oh my god, that would be cruel. Just get him. Okay.
It
Brassi,
doesn't
what are you
necessarily
doing?
need to be a goat. I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Is there anything else you want to do in the day? Because I think this would take like most of like the mid part of your day, but you have some time before like dinner if you wanted to, if there was anything else you wanted to do.
So for his thing, there would be part of it I think would be preparing like the goat, and then the other part would be preparing the mushrooms.
Yeah, so if you're looking for mushrooms, you are like you talk to Brogy and Brogy's like, finding the correct mushroom to use is going to be hard. Brogy will keep looking, but Brogy has not found the right mushroom.
That we need to find one, I think, that has a lot of spores.
We need a big spore colony.
And maybe a carnivorous mushroom.
Yes, carnivorous mushroom. There's
That
so
might make
to
more
find.
sense. That way it's more compatible. Like oyster mushrooms, they eat worms, right?
Oh yeah.
So they maybe something like that. I don't know how many spores. Well,
We should try maybe talk to an expert on sport. I mean, I am an expert on sports, but this is new sport. We are maybe cross-making with magic. And we need the best possible. Brogy needs the best possible version of the basic spore. So maybe you talk to the queen of spores and maybe find a good spore.
I don't know what you're talking about, Brogy.
Brogy knows.
Brogy knows. Okay, well, maybe if I see her in my dream, I'll ask her about it.
The Brogy
Hopefully
wants
she
to
doesn't.
talk to the queen someday, but Brogy knows that you are going to keep it close to your chest.
Yes, you don't go telling people that.
Brogy is sworn to silence. Only Victoria knows.
All right.
Brogy is trying to get date. Do not judge Brogy.
Well, next time I talk to that lady, I will ask her, about that.
Okay. Would you like to try some of these cities mushroom risotto?
I mean,
There is not even a little bit of chloroform in it.
then no, maybe not.
I said there is not even a little bit.
I know. It would be
Brogy
great if
says
there was.
there's not even a little bit because there is a lot.
No, I would not be doing. Actually, I can't be poisoned. So, how does that work?
Yeah, you'd be fine.
Guess you'll just eat it.
All right, well, you enjoy your risotto. And he just watches you eat it, just like, yes. And then he's like, I want you to get sleepy. And he just starts
That was
spitting
very
in
good.
face.
Thank you, bro.
He starts spitting in face like, oh, you fucking pass out. Can't open your spleen and taste it. Anyways, so that's what you spent the rest of your evening working on.
is trying to pick a spore out and then.
Yeah, we'll keep the goats in a level that's not the same as where all the mushrooms are kept.
Keep
'cause I
them in
don't
the
wanna eat
brewery
them.
level so they're just drunk all the time.
Great, perfect. Yes, or or at the base level so that they can just eat the stew. But,
Okay, yeah, base level is a fine place too.
So I think in the daytime I'll be working on the spell. In the evening I'll just I guess spend time studying potions and stuff. So
Cool.
that's gonna be Grim's days and nights.
All right, go ahead and make me a intelligence check with proficiency for learning more about your potion making. And also, I do need you at some point, if you haven't yet, to pick your 5 potions that you know.
Yes, I got to do that.
Or sorry, it's 6 potions total. You get 3 common potions, 2 uncommon potions, and 1 rare potion.
And then based on my time too.
And that's
right?
for each of the kits that you know.
Okay. Well, what do we mean kits that I know?
You have a. Don't you have herbalism and alchemy?
Herbalism,
Okay.
poison, or
Okay.
alchemy.
Yeah. Okay. I wasn't sure if that's what you meant.
Yeah.
How do I roll that? Well, anyway, I'm just gonna roll intelligence and add the 5.
Yeah, it's fine.
Well, anyway, it's a 14, which is pretty.
14. You don't learn anything particularly new, but it does refreshen your information a little bit.
At least it was not a total fail. So.
And now that you knew that they're going to be maybe pulling some tricks where you have to learn some other stuff, I'm going to say that you start leaning into the concepts behind exchanging herbalist ingredients, like herbal ingredients, with animal and creature ingredients, and vice versa.
Works for me.
Okay, so you just start to get a little bit of an idea for that. Propsy, what are you up to?
I spend my whole day in alchemy classes because there's nothing else that Rapsy knows what to do.
Okay, go ahead and give me an intelligence roll with proficiency.
Oh, where's my cursor? Rapsy also uses enhanceability to make the most of her classes.
Nice.
Isn't that like taking smart pills? Like, isn't that cheating?
That's yeah. It's not
Yes.
cheating. She's just got her
I am
ADHD
using
pills.
my arsenal.
She's using pharmaceuticals.
What am I looking for? What am I rolling?
And just intelligence and proficiency.
Okay.
So intelligence plus 5.
24.
24. Yeah, so you get you're gonna get time and a half today for what you learned. So you're gonna get 12 hours of learning on alchemy.
Beautiful. Thank.
So in 8 hours of learning, you're gonna get that amount of time learned.
Now, the hours they translate
Adderall's great when it doesn't
into-
make you feel like you're gonna die.
The hours of learning is for her learning a kit. She's learning alchemy kit.
Okay, but so what I was. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
If you're talking about what you were learning with Krishna, you were already proficient in alchemy. Is that?
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
See, at first I thought you were learning alchemy during all that. So if you're saying that, what I'll have you do is I'm gonna have you learn an additional. How many hours do you have in alchemy since then?
It
from
says
Krishna?
57.
57.
But I don't know.
So-
I also don't know if I was counting consistently either.
I will let you spend those hours at a rate based on rarity to learn more.
Okay.
If you spend 20 hours, that's a common potion. If you spend 40, that's an uncommon potion. If you spend 60, that's a rare potion. If you spend 100, it's a very rare potion.
I'll probably save up and get a very rare then, huh?
Okay, cool.
Because I have one that I want because it's so useful.
Fair enough. So,
Sorry, Bropsy.
Seti,
Back to Bropsy.
unless you have something else you want to do, Bropsy. I assume that was what you wanted to do, was literally just study all day. But if there's anything else you would like to do with your evening,
After dinner, Rapsy would try to check in with Seti. If she's not busy.
well, we'll get back to that because I'm sure Seti will be, and we'll just have you guys talk after that the events because she might have things to talk about depending on what she does with her day, but she
Fair
doesn't know
enough.
what to talk about now. So Seti, Is there? What would you like to do before?
I think I will.
Cleary gets back to you.
I think I will be trying to find out about when and where specifically tryouts are for our school.
Okay.
And also if we can find somebody to compete with me in either Boxbreaker or Wisp Wallop.
Okay, go ahead and give me an investigation check. DC is only 10. Which I assume you can't even roll that low.
Investigation? No. That is a 23.
Yeah, okay, so with your 23, you very easily find out that there is, in fact, going to be... It depends on what you're trying to sign up for. For Boxbreaker, they are trying out to make a team.
Oh, so
High Realm Academy.
we don't get to pick our own team anyway.
At High Realm Academy, they're trying to pick potentials for a team, and then they're going to see who works well together.
Gotcha.
So, they have mock boxes that they will be setting up in a few days. And each mock box, if you can break one mock box within a certain amount of time, it's like a timed thing. Like, how quick can you break a mock box? Like, so if you can break the strong box in like 2 rounds of combat, that would be huge.
Right.
Like, if you can break, if you can get a lockpick one on the first try and get the other one on the first try, like with the high DC that'll be set, then that would be good. And then also you have the puzzle one, which is going to be a riddle that I will.
Do I get to try all 3 of them, or do I have to pick one?
You can do one, you can do multiple. Like if you're setting a time, and they're going to take the top 10 times, and those top 10 times are going to be the people that they consider.
All right. I will also relay this information to Mitnir and Oren, so that we should all just show up for Boxbreaker tryouts and see who makes the team. Cool. And they can plan their strategy accordingly.
All right, so that information was like easily.
That they should make you try to say mock box 5 times fast.
Mock box, mock
box, mock box, mock box, mock box, mock box. Sati has a 16 in performance. She'd be fine. That includes tongue twisters, right?
But Simienne cannot.
And look, so I also need to practice. I need to read up on riddles or something, right? I want to get. I want to go to the library and.
You pick up a book called Riddles for Dummies, and you are just working on it when you hear Cleary comes in and things. Says, "I've got the forms done. I've talked to about as many people as I'm aware of, and if you want to head down to the Crystal Embassy, we can do so at your leisure."
Great. Where should we meet? At the portal?
We can meet at Logic's Landing, sure.
Okay, see you there.
Okay, so you go to Logic's Landing.
Wait, before we move on, did I learn anything about Wisp Wallop this morning? Or just Bobby?
Yeah, you can learn a bit about Wisp Wallop. What do you want to know?
Well,
again,
are there tryouts for that? Is that a thing?
Oh, for the tryouts for Wisp Wallop? Wisp Wallop is 2-man team, and they're gonna have they're basically just gonna have a small tryout in about 3 days before the competition. So signups. There's an actual sign-up sheet.
Okay, I did that. I did sign up already.
Yeah, you saw the sign-up sheet.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Okay, so that one I just show up to.
Yep.
All right.
That's the one on Monday. Sorry. So
but do I need is the team situation similar? Well, they will make a team from the people that try out, or do I need to have a team to try out
with? They know
with?
that you're coming in with another person, unless you want to sign up solo. If you're coming in with another person, then they'll take precedence on because they know your teamwork's going to be better as a 2-man group.
Okay, so I do need either Oren or Mitnir to agree to that one with me.
You don't have to. You can go in by yourself if you want.
Well,
I could always try out.
Wisp Wallop.
You might as well try out for stuff, and then if your invention doesn't get picked, then you...
Yeah, I can try out for it, because technically I'm not signed up for my school for invention.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. Then yes. So Mitnir and Seti will do that together. Okay.
There you go.
With Mitnir for my notes. Okay, and then I go to the teleportation circle.
Okay, you meet him with teleportation circle. He's like, right.
I'm dressed for an outing, like we're going into the Undercity, so there's lots of leather and travel wear.
Sure. Yeah. We're gonna go to
Okay, just all right. So we'll be heading to the Eastern District, and we'll be going to the Prismatic Mines. So just stick close to me, and try not to get pickpocketed. There are lots of urchins down there, which I'm sure you're familiar with.
I dare any of them to find where I have hidden my bag.
Fair enough. So he takes you out. You guys go through a portal, and you find yourself coming out of a portal in a zone that looks a little bit more rundown than where you previously went, which is of course like Lord Rock's chambers. And as you come out in the Eastern District, you see that there are a lot of guys who are a little bit more like rough and tumble. They're carrying bags over their shoulders. Everybody's got everybody and their kid and their dog and their cat has a pickaxe. Like everybody's got a pickaxe. Anybody who doesn't have a pickaxe, you can tell that they just dig with their hands, or because they're like big, hulking. They're
They
like
don't need a
earth
pickaxe,
elementals just
yeah.
walking around through the zone. And you even see while you're walking through there, a large bug with a sort of iridescent carapace and big, huge, like sharp claws on like the end of his like hand mandible sort of situation. Which you as a player, I'm sure you know what that is. But it's the first time I think Seti's probably ever seen one. And it's just like, it's probably standing about 10 feet tall, this large like beetle, and just sort of walking through, just
Wow.
just, oh yes, watch out for those. They get very testy.
Oh, right. The color is very beautiful.
Oh yes, definitely. This way. Oh, and he sort of like waves a hand and reshifts, and you see his clothes become like slightly finer. He's like, right. And then he hits forward, and you guys find yourself, as you're approaching, you see light coming from the mines ahead of you. And you can see like a rainbow kaleidoscopic effect coming out from inside. These are the prismatic mines, filled with just about any gemstone you could imagine.
Oh,
Those that dig here must be very, very well versed at what they do. Otherwise, the whole thing could collapse because these gemstones are stacked on gemstones on stacked on gemstones, and some of them load bearing.
A load-bearing gemstone. Who knew?
Yes. I do believe he's working here today. At least that's what he told me when I last sent correspondence. So.
Right. Do I look okay? I'm really nervous. I'm trying not to be nervous.
You look gorgeous. And you're dressed appropriately.
I mean, I figured mines, I don't want to get that, no dresses for the mines.
Would you like a cover, or are you going to just be honest?
I'd like to start things off honestly.
Fair enough.
I don't know how to start, but...
Well, if you'll follow me, I'm sure we can pick him out. So you
Right.
guys go through, and you see a couple of miners, and you see he's sort of walking towards somebody who's like, "Brr, brr," like this big tough looking guy. And for a second you're like, oh my God, is that my brother? And then he just walks past and you're like, oh, okay. And it's like, it happens probably 2 or 3 times the way through that you're like, is this my brother? But the second you see him, you feel like you see an individual with short cropped, like sort of ridged hair, brown skin, you would say, but it looks a bit rough and like a little bit geometric in some areas. It's still rounded here or there. Like, it's not like it's full hard and rocky or anything, but you can tell that he is definitely one with the earth. As the light catches him from some of these glowing crystals, you see sheens of turquoise and yellow go up against striations, and you can see black veins running through his body. And as he turns and looks over in your direction, he goes, yes. Oh. All right, it's you, that guy. Nice to see you again. Welcome back to the mines, Mr. What was the name again? Says, I'm sorry for misleading you before, but my actual name is Cleary Asentov. And I brought a very important guest with me today. Yes.
Hi.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so who are you?
My name's Seti, and I actually have Um, I'd like to have a conversation, but I wondered if maybe you have a lunch break. I could buy you lunch or something.
No, I mean, like I'm digging currently, you know, and well, you know, like I've got a lot going on here.
Could we meet up later at a more convenient hour?
I mean, you can just spit out what you don't talk about right now. We can talk about it. You know.
Well, I'm your sister.
So lunch, and that's we'll end our session for the day.
Nah.
We have to end our sessions with Seti starting a meal with somebody.
Especially if I used the wrong accent for him because I couldn't remember what his accent was before we started.
It's fine. It's fine.
So when you say we did it for the rolls, you mean like little pieces of bread?
The dinner rolls or the lunch rolls.
The dinner rolls. So what was his voice? Because I couldn't hear my own voice, and I was like, "It's Scottish." Now all of a sudden, it's like,
I mean,
yes, wait, bro. Okay, so it's basically like this. I mean, like mostly he talks like this and all that stuff, but it's all like sliding around. No, see, that was Scottish again. Can't do his voice right now.
Are you saying that this man sounds more Canadian than a resident
He
Canadian?
is somewhere between Russian and Canadian. It is the weirdest mix of a voice that I have ever tried to do, and I keep losing it. I kind of did it the other day when we were like, "Hey, what should your brother sound like?" And I was like, "He's going to be
Nice.
slightly Canadian, but also like I wanted to have like a kind of like rough kind of like R rolling thing."
yeah, McConnell says Alaskan, which is like, I mean, Russia and Canada, that's as close as they get is Alaska.
Literally,
so-
when I want to do, you say Alaskan and Serapelan, and for some reason,
yeah,
it
but
just-
that one is not. Yes, it's not fun. I don't think we want to hear that all day. No.
Okay, we'll work on this. We'll figure out how to get you in this.
Yeah. But they don't want to be like, "Dos Fedonia, eh?" Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Serapelan, yeah.
so we'll figure it out over time. But his name is Labra, and he is an Earth Genasi, and his rock gemstone is Labradorite.
Love it.
I can just imagine the
He's a
user.
poopy toad.
I'm your sister. What?
Yeah, he's just like, so lunch.
Yeah.
So
Good
anyways,
stuff.
guys,
Thank you
thanks
for
so
the
much for hanging
session.
out.
That
I
was
hope
really
you all had
nice.
fun. I always enjoy a good RP session.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, hopefully next week we're gonna have even more fun times. But we'll see because most of the time we feel like crap and we have to cancel.
One
So
can hope.
One can hope we'll play next week. But until then, we love you guys, and remember, we did it
We
for
did
the
it for
world.
the
for the
rolls.
rolls.
Thank you, Kita. Thank you.
Yay! We got one of them.
We got one.
Woo!